Hey trainers, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about some of the new leaks that came out today for the Pokemon Card 151 set in Japan. This is releasing on June 16th. So before we get into the leaks, we'll talk a little bit about the set. I know it's still about a month out for release and there's still quite a few people who haven't really heard of it. As you can kind of gather from the name of the set, Pokemon Card 151, this set is featuring all the original 151 Pokemon plus a couple extra cards. And this is just a generic listing for it on Plaza Japan. You can see that the set mascot seems to be Mew with Pokeball in the background. And it's kind of neat, you can see all the different original 151 Pokemon in the background there. They got Horsey, Mr. Mime, and some of the promo art that they're featuring is a Mew EX, which we kind of figured was coming for a little bit. And the 3 original Kanto starters, and featuring a little bit of the new reverse foil. Also, you can see here in the description, it is mentioning that's 20 years since Kadabra has returned to the TCG. And of course, with the new mechanics of the EX, you need the basic, the stage 1, to evolve into a stage 2 EX. You can't just put them down like a V card. So here you can see Kadabra for the first time in 20 years. So this is just the Bulbapedia article on Pokemon Card 151. So you can see it is a special set. It's containing 165 plus cards, released in Japan on June 16th, and it only contains Generation 1 Pokemon. And common and uncommon cards in the subset have a mirror holofoil variant featuring a Pokeball pattern. So this is kind of like, I don't know if any of you guys collected back in like 2003, 2004. Some of the EX series sets back then featured a giant holofoil Pokeball in the background. An interesting thing, it says each booster pack contains 7 cards, 2 of which are guaranteed to be holofoil. So that just might mean 2 reverses. But anyways, we can go through here and kind of look at some of the cards that are going to be featured. There's a Venusaur EX, Charizard EX, Blastoise EX, and a cool thing, there's going to be an Arbok EX. So by now we already have the 3 Kanto Final Evolution cards leaked. Here's Blastoise, looking like he's about to fire off a Hydro Pump. We have Charizard here, and we have Venusaur. And I don't know if that's a scan. That's probably a scan error with the texture on it, but it looks like he has like a fingerprint on him or something. I don't think we have any higher scanned resolution of the other EXs. We'll kind of get to that in a second, but this set's also going to feature an Arbok EX, which I believe is the first time Arbok's ever got like an ultra rare. We have a Ninetales EX, Wigglytuff EX, Alakazam, Golem EX, Kangaskhan EX, Jinx EX. I think this is the first time Jinx has had a ultra rare in a long time. Zapdos EX, of course, we already talked about the Mew EX. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see I had featured some of the leaked cards already earlier today. And one of the things I said I was disappointed was there was no Nidoking EX. In my opinion, I think Nidoking is probably one of the best original Pokemon designs. This was released on May 11th, so we have the card artworks for the Nidoqueen and Nidoking, which is awesome. I think this is the first time they've been back since the Team Up set, possibly, if I recall correctly. I thought this artwork was really awesome. It's like the same kind of rooftop art style with Abra on it. I believe it was in like the Neo era. Kind of looks like the same rooftop that the Moonbryon is on as well. It's kind of cool. I just pulled up this image just to reference it. This was the Abra I was talking about. I guess it's a little bit different style of roof, but it's kind of similar. Maybe they were inspired. Anyways, here's one of the images we have of Jinx coming out. Not much to say. Looks like regular EX. Not too many people are a fan of Jinx. It's actually kind of creepy. It's like leaning in to give you a sweet kiss or something like that, you know? So another cool thing is that they're bringing back the fossil Pokemon. So here we have a cool artwork featuring Aerodactyl that's been leaked. And before we start talking about crappy artwork, I thought I featured these 2 cards that have been leaked. So this is Staryu and its counterpart Starmie. And honestly, this is one of those cards where, you know, even though it's a basic holo, it's actually a really good pull. I think, what is it, in Scarlet and Violet, there's that Slowbro that's laying on the dock with a sunset behind him. It just looks absolutely insane for just a regular holo card. But I think this is a hats off to the artist here for just drawing an absolute masterpiece. Okay, so now that we kind of covered off, you know, just a little bit of basics for the set and you know, some of the artwork that we can expect to see, which is phenomenal. Let's talk about some of the leaks that have come out today. So here is where I found it. So I'm not really sure the original source, but here's the guy who posted it. And this is the image. So we are seeing Venusaur, Alakazam, Kangaskhan, you know, all the EXs in the set, and in English, might I add, which is crazy. Another thing to point out is they're in top loaders. So this isn't something from the factory that's released. My guess is this is probably somebody from a print factory who took these home. Why else would they be sleeved and in top loaders, right? You know, another thing that's crazy is that these cards are already printed in English. You know, this set's releasing in Japan in June. This is probably going to be our first Scarlet and Violet special set. So I would imagine it's probably released in September, October, November area. Like, I'm trying to think, I think Champion's Path was late September. So maybe this is like an October set. I don't know how early Pokemon normally starts printing the cards, but I mean, if they're already printing now, I mean, I don't think we're gonna have an issue with supply whatsoever when this set drops. I'm sure the Pokemon company's probably expecting this to be a very sought after item, so I mean, kudos to them for printing accordingly. Anyways, enough speculating. Here you can see all the artworks of the cards. Very, very cool. It reminds me of the, you know, 2015 to 2016, 2017 era of XY EXs. I mean, especially look at the Venusaur. I mean, this looks like a Flashfire Kangaskhan. I can only imagine how cool the alt arts are going to be. I'm going to guess that Alakazam is going to have an amazing one. And of course, I would imagine Charizard would probably have a pretty cool one as well. Now, speaking of Charizard, and you know, we've been talking about artwork. Let's talk about this abomination. Yes, this is a picture of a dark Terra-type Charizard that's been leaked. I saw a picture of this card floating around on Instagram a couple days ago, and I thought it was a poorly made fake card. I mean, we've all seen the gold bordered, you know, the fake Pikachu or the fake Rayquaza alt art or whatever floating around. And that's actually kind of what I thought this was. And then I see this post by D Morgan on Reddit today. Higher quality image of Terra Dark type Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames. So we've known that there's going to be a Dark Terra type Charizard in an Obsidian Flame set for over a month now, probably. I believe it was leaked on PokeBeach. I can't remember now. Here's the Pokemon Company's chance to do something absolutely incredible. You know, you're bringing back like Delta Species-esque cards with 2 different types in them, and you have a Charizard. Like, I mean, you could do so many cool things. Like, I mean, the Pokemon just looks cool just being. I mean, it doesn't have to do anything to look cool, and yet they've somehow created this absolute monstrosity. I mean, I don't even know where to start. At least it's on actual artists, but my critique, I'm not actually, you know, putting anybody down. It's just 5-band graphics. But man, this is a secret rare. Wow. All right, so let's break this down. So we can see it's a secret rare in the bottom here. It's a triple gold star rating, which is now like the secret rares. Plus it's gold border. So it's dark. You can see it's terrestrialized. It has its little dark crown on it, this little dark emblem above it. Now, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to show the Charizard is, you know, crystallized like in the video game. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm playing Scarlet and Violet, I do not see any terrestrialized Pokemon looking like this. I know it's kind of hard to imitate, you know, that style or that texture on a piece of cardboard, but I mean, there's got to be a better way than this, right? Like, I don't know. I'd have to see a terrestrialized Charizard, I guess, to be able to compare it, but I don't think I see any pink and teals, you know, mixed in with the normal Charizard, but I mean, I might be wrong. Another interesting thing to consider is that I believe Obsidian Flames is going to be the card set that's released likely after Pokemon 151 in English. So we're looking at like a January or maybe a February release. And this card's already been printed. It's just crazy to think, you know, we already talked about the English version of 151 already being printed and already being leaked. Now, this is a card from the set after that, you know, 2 to 3, maybe even 4 months down the line that's going to be released. So I think that kind of points to that the Pokemon Company is really ramping up production. All right, enough putting down this Charizard. I'm sure we'll probably see maybe an alt art or something that will redeem it. But it kind of got me thinking, you know, is this the ugliest Pokemon card ever made. I decided to do some Googling, and these are some of the ugly ones that I've come across. Here's a pretty ugly Mischievous. It's a Blackstar promo. And by the way, no offense to these artists. Here's Purugly. I mean, need I say more? I understand what they were trying to do way back when, you know, introduce a little bit of 3D graphics, but just wasn't working. And the infamous Bucktooth Crobat. Look at this bad boy. I mean, I've never seen Crobat with buck teeth before. I don't know how that happened, and I'm pretty sure Brock's Crobat did not have buck teeth in the anime. And last but not least, we have Skuntank. I know this is supposed to be in Pokemon Rumble style, but this is just this is just insane. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed some of the leaked cards that came out. Let me know which ones you're excited to see for the Pokemon Card 151 set. And also, I'd love to hear your critiques about this Charizard card. I can only imagine what some of you guys are thinking out there when you look at this card. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.